Alright, what's up guys? I got the Ford today at Sonoma, GT3. First thing I'm gonna do the same thing I did at with the Beamer. I'm gonna upload my Road Atlantis. Oh, I really hope it's race V4. I'm just not sure which one it is. I'm going with race V4 and learn from the Beamer. It's gonna have a lot more fuel than I need. I don't know how much I don't need because I'm the laziest person ever when it comes to figuring out fuel. So we'll go with 75 liters. I think that'll be more than enough. Alright, let's see. Can we actually, before I do that, go back and load that setup again because I canceled it because I want to see how much this front's gonna raise. 58.2. I'm gonna take this out. Let's see, that goes up 1 millimeter. That should be plenty. I want about almost 2 millimeters, so bring that back down. Maybe right there for now, and hopefully we have the best car ever right now. Got good memories of driving the GT2 Ford on this track, so hopefully that carries over into this car. Ooh, force feedback's probably a little high right now. Go ahead and adjust that. I just need to take it down one click. See how she does through here. Yeah, it should be fun. Alright. Alright, gonna take my time getting up to speed. So I have to get back into the habit of throttle blipping. Just driving the Ford in general. So I'm gonna do second gear for the hairpin. At this point in the season, I'm kind of expecting the Ford to do really good in hairpins, just because it has everywhere else I've driven it. And need to do something because we're bottoming out going into one. Ooh. Just kind of cranked on the wheel, hoping the rear end would stay underneath me, and it didn't. Definitely gotta get rid of all those BMW habits. Very good rotation through there. Time I braked at the green billboard. Good change of direction through there. A little awkward flooring it over that last little right-hander. It's almost like a lazy, doesn't know if it wants to push or loose kind of deal. Brake a little bit closer to this cone on the left. Shouldn't go down to first, but I did. Keep it in second next time. .91. That's how you drift those corners. Okay, so yeah, not everything can feel as good as a Beamer.
He's moving, he's moving.
Good thing is it's really stable coming out of that corner. It's one of the weaker spots for the Beamer.
Very slow on the right. Drive through it. .08. Very slow on the right. Keep coming.
Car's actually got really good rotation in it right now. I think the biggest trick is just harnessing it.
Keep coming.
And that's how you ruin somebody's lap.
Clear.
I know he wanted to let me by, but he should have just stayed in the pit lane. And he wouldn't have ruined a lap. Just a little lesson for y'all out there. They just, you know, don't know any better. If you are trying to do the right thing, there's just the right way to do the right thing. And I do appreciate that he was trying to do the right thing. Just do not appreciate his execution. Listen. Still don't know what I want to do this setup yet. Definitely gonna run some more laps. Still got some more time to eke out of this setup for sure. Probably the biggest thing is just get this car so it stops bottoming out on stuff.
.99.
Woo, woo, we're on a roll, aren't we? 2 laps in a row. Alright, try and get our focus back here. I tried to find a room with nobody in it, but there's people in like every room. So this room still has like over an hour left in it. Still tons of people in here. see when we go through here without hitting the brakes. No, definitely need to at least tap them. Tap the brakes through there just to get the front nose to drop a little bit to get, you know, and do some turning into the car. When you tap those brakes, that front end will drop and you'll get more grip on those front tires, and they'll be able to hopefully, you know, turn you through the corner a little bit better with that increased grip.
32.91.
Probably thinking I should go to 4th for that corner. It's just a lot of work with this car to go up and down one gear for half a second. Tried to carry a little bit more speed in there. It's pretty unstable. It was pretty doggone good through there. I mean, it's not a setup where you can just step on the gas and brake and everything's going to happen for you. You definitely have to drive within the limits of the car, but which is a little anti-GT3, but you drive within the limits, it's damn manageable.
.61.
One trick you can do if you find yourself spinning out under downshifts, just wait longer to downshift. But you shouldn't be using the engine to slow you down anyways. You should be using the brakes. So just wait a little bit longer to downshift, and then they won't be so violent when you get on the gas. Kind of forced myself around that corner. See, I actually think too much rear brake bias. We'll go up one click on the brake bias as soon as I can figure out what button I mapped it to, because I set up my panels one way, but I did it for each individual car, so I eventually changed it, but I haven't changed it back for this car yet, so I gotta figure out what brake bias is real quick here.
Very slow on the right.
I figured it out. Okay, so now I got one more click front brake bias, and we'll see what that does for me. Hopefully that helps me in trail braking situations.
.7.
It's way too much speed through there. Yeah, I'll just go to 4th through that corner. It's not too much work. So that's a corner I really did more front brake bias, and it seemed to help just a little bit. Then we'll go one more click. So I want it to help a lot of it. As long as I'm not locking up the fronts under heavy straight line braking anywhere else, it should be alright. I'm not gonna say this has the most stable rear end, but this is like the loosest I've ever had a rear end be, but actually be like beneficial to me. I'm usually you know, I'd want my car more on the tight side, but with this track, if you drive within it, you kind of need that looseness just to really help you get around all these twisties and all those, you know, different direction changes that there are on this track. You just gotta work with the car, but if you do, you can run some pretty decent laps. Still definitely not stable coming up over that crest. Not as stable as I like, it's more stable, but
.25.
I gotta figure something out for that. I think I'm actually gonna try more rear wing. It's the only thing that's really coming to mind right off the bat. If I can do more rear wing. Let's see here. No, I can't. I'm just gonna see what my max and min range for this diff preload is. Looks like I already have it all minned out. Not completely, but I never like to completely undo the diff. Alright, see how much I can lower this rear end. Go quite a ways. Save this first. Okay. Well, I'll raise it about 3 mil, or lower it about 3 millimeters. And you do that by increasing the rear spring perch offset. So you're basically mounting the springs higher up in the chassis. So it lowers the rear. And when you do that, you now change the dynamics of the overall rake of the car. You know, the raise of the rear compared to the height of the front. And when you lower the rear in relation to the front, it usually promotes more understeer. So, let's see how that works out. Let's get that rear end to tighten up just a little bit more security and confidence out of the setup. Of course, that felt awesome, but that could very well be just the fact that I have brand new tires. So, can't really put any weight to how it feels right now. Definitely have to run it a couple laps. And then see what we got. Way too much speed.
He's in the dirt.
Let these guys by.
Whoa.
Again, that lap I didn't notice any of the nervousness in the rear end like I did previous lap, so hopefully that keeps up.
.03. Left side, clear.
Rear end's definitely more stable now. Doesn't quite have that drift in it that I was talking about earlier. It's still more stable through there, but now I'm losing mid-corner rotation. .65. Yeah, that's better. I think I was over driving entry before just to see if the rear end would stay behind me, and I'd have backed it up. I'm getting a little bit better rotation through the middle of that corner now. So that was my driving technique, is why I was pushing through there, I believe. Could be wrong, but it's the hunch I got going right now. Yeah, bad line.
Hello, Duke.
Yeah, let's race a Beamer. Let's have us some fun.
Untitled 30.02.
See what kind of race car we got here.
So on the right, Untitled.
Yeah, definitely gonna stick with that ride height change. I'm just gonna see if there's anything else I can do.
30.47.
Oof. Left hand was a little quick on that downshift. This car feels pretty doggone good right now, not gonna lie. So much better through that corner. Of course, as I said that, that was all driver error right there. Just tapped on the brakes in the middle of the corner for some reason. Got unsettled the car. The biggest thing you got to remember when you're driving this car is you got to drive it. You got to stay in the moment. You can't take anything for granted with this car. As soon as you do that, it's not going to behave. You got to give it your full attention. Really does a nice job on the throttle rotation just coming out of that corner.
31.14.
Seeing how much speed I can carry in there. Still carrying too much. Got great rotation through that corner off throttle.
Up one off course.
Don't wait too long to get on the throttle through there.
Ça va, t'es adjusting. Salut, Cédric.
30.44. Up, one off course, one off course.
Much better through there that time.
Slow on the right. Keep coming. Right side, clear.
Good race practice right here.
On your right. Clear, clear.
Stability coming out of that corner is awesome. It's refreshing after driving the Beamer. That's mostly just because it's a mid-engine car, so it's really going to have a lot more stability on corner exit.
Hey, whatever.
.4.
I want you guys to watch how gradual I was getting on the throttle through that hairpin. I was doing the same thing in the BMW. I just really think it's important for that corner if you just really take your time getting the full throttle. Just watch my input. Found it's the best way to drive the corner.
Left side, you're clear. He's in the middle of the track. Keep going, keep going. 30.04.
Another fun thing about this car, like, I mean, kind of, you know, rear end starts dancing around on you, you can dance with it. And bring it in this lap. I mean, everything from here on out is pretty much, see, like that? There's no way you could do that in a BMW. That thing would have gone around 9 out of 10 times, or 10 out of 10 times. Let's see if we can drift this. Nope. Alright, gonna save that. Looks like we have good contact patches in the rear. Nice wear in the front. So keep those low. Tire, like the pressures around the mid 70s. I mean, What I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what happens when I increase the spring rates a click. Watch the ride heights change. 8.6, 8.4, 8.6. So that one up 6, 8.4. That one up like 11. Or 1.1 millimeters. So, bring that back down. Right there. It's closer to where it was before. Now, one thing to think about is you're not making... This isn't a 1-for-1 ratio change. You're actually putting more weight in the front. So, it's going to cause this front end to be a little bit stiffer than the rear end would be, which is going to cause more understeer. But right now I'm going to cancel this because I want to see what the difference in these corner weights are. Absolutely nothing. Which I kind of think is malarkey. I don't understand how you could have the same exact corner weights when you increase spring rates, but we'll just go with it. Because it will shift the... apparently it's not enough to really induce any change as far as the corner weights, but it does at some level change the whole balance of the car. Because if you just keep putting a stiffer and stiffer spring in here, it's just going to keep raising the front of the car and it's going to shift more weight to the rear. So let's see what happens when we got a little bit stiffer. This is purely experimenting now, just seeing how this feels compared to the other setup.
Whoa. That
Make
looks
sure
good.
no one's coming out behind us. We got a clear track. Let's do this thing. And one of my thought process behind doing this is just stop the car from bottoming out. Ideally, you don't ever want the car to bottom out. It's still bottoming out, but it's whatever. I didn't really expect one click more spring would fix that. Just alleviate a little bit of it.
I think I might actually do better if iRacing starts doing drifting.
Left side. Clear.
Sorry, but I wasn't sure if you're letting me by or not.
Yeah, I should have. My bad, sorry.
Oh, that's all good. Yeah, I just saw you had a super wide line.
Left side. Clear.
Thank you.
Right side. Clear. Right side.
We'll get it
Still
eventually.
there. Clear.
That's all good. Again, it's too early to tell as far as grip levels whether that was the right setup change, put more spring in it, but I did just notice going through the couple corners I did, the car was a little bit more responsive without, you know, being jarring, which is what you want. You want the car to be as responsive as you can without know, becoming too stiff. Want to, you know, adapt to the bumps and such. Well, we'll give it a couple laps and see how she feels after that.
That was a bit too, well, too early on the throttle. Yep.
But my gut instinct is telling me we'll keep this setup change.
I'm sure I didn't bother you.
My gut instinct's telling me we'll keep this setup change if you guys didn't just hear me. I guess the best way, the car just feels more crisp, doesn't feel so mushy. That's a good way to explain it. Wow. It's only the second lap, but track's so much better through that corner right now. Hopefully that keeps up. Way too much speed. That's an ugly hairpin corner. It's gonna be really smooth with all your inputs with this car. It's not a bad lap for the Ford. Yep, we're gonna keep this setup change. So it pays off to experiment. You can do that same kind of stuff with roll bars, you know, just increase the front rear roll bar in the same increments up and down. You can do the same thing with tire pressures. You know, those major adjustments, you can just, you know,
keep an eye open.
Do a holistic change to them.
Stay right.
And just see if it makes a car better or worse. Because you never really know until you try. Yeah, nice and gradual with the throttle. Yeah. That's just me trying to see if I can get on the throttle a little bit earlier, but I couldn't. Driver error. Alright guys, I think this is going to be a setup. I'm just going to run some laps now. Man, yeah, it does. It's doing good. Doing good. Let's see if we can get some consistency in here.
Keep going, keep going. Stay on your toes.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Whoa, wall ride, bitches. Imagine ending up there in the race. Oh, it's all good, man. That'd bum you out if you ended up there in a race. Alright guys, let's save this. Make sure we don't have 150 gallons in there. We don't. Alright. Until next time, guys.